See how far you can truthfully shove your nose up a man's ass.
Welcome to In Defense Of, making the case for overlooked, forgotten, or derided movies in 5 minutes or less. If you don't have 5 minutes, here's 5 seconds. Today in defense of Rage, a direct-to-video action film from 1995 that's one of the most breathless, breakneck, completely entertaining movies that I've ever seen. Alex Rayner, a grade school teacher and devoted family man, is kidnapped by evil military types Westech. Alex's excellent physical condition makes him a prime candidate for their illegal experimentation with a super soldier formula. He's injected, and using his new abilities, Alex escapes and spends the following 90 minutes steamrolling from one action set piece to the next. Meanwhile, a has-been journalist looks to revive his career by getting the scoop on Alex and Westech.
I'm just your innocent guy.
Alex, come on, they're trying to kill you.
That said, Rage's plot doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense, and there's no attempt to make sense. I mean, right from the start, why does a grade school teacher have the chiseled body of a martial artist? Doesn't matter. Rage's plot is the thinnest of frameworks on which to hang the real draw of the film. A non-stop series of frenzied action scenes broken up by some really weird non-action sequences. Case in point, my two favourite scenes from the movie. Firstly, an 11-minute car chase where Alex commandeers a giant oil tanker whilst on the run from Westech goons and the police. 7 minutes in, he slams into a truck and knocks it over. The truck explodes, and a police car does a barrel roll through the explosion and then lands on the camera. That's not even the climax of the chase, it's just something that happens in the middle of it. It's genuinely exhilarating. It's unexpected from a direct-to-video release. It matches anything that I can think of from big-budget action cinema. Then there's my second favourite scene. Alex enters a house where we see the residents engaging in some kinky fun in the bedroom. There's a gorilla suit in there, and Flight of the Valkyries is playing.
What'll happen to you?
Alex calls his wife, and when we cut back to him, he's sat on the floor, eating a mountain of food. The kinky couple then fight Alex. This underlines my golden rule of cinema. Movies don't have to be good as long as they're entertaining. I have no idea why the filmmakers chose any of this, but the scene never fails to amuse me. Honestly, I could have picked any two scenes from this movie to illustrate my point. These two that I've chosen are consecutive, one after the other, which really underlines just how entertaining Rage is. How does the movie's plot get Alex from the car chase and into the house? It doesn't. He just appears suddenly running towards the house. There is no downtime. Rage doesn't want you to stop and absorb what you've just seen. It's only concerned with moving on to the next set piece and dragging you with it. Before the internet made it possible to find gems amongst the glut of direct-to-video movies, these releases needed to grab your attention when you were in the rental shop. A title, a star, some appealing artwork to convince you to pick up the box and take it home. The entire market lived and died on this initial hook. Looking at Rage, there's nothing that really sets it apart from any other action fare of the time. Our star is Gary Daniels. I love Gary Daniels. I love him. He's a legit martial artist, and his fight sequences always look top-notch and believable. He has a great look, and had he been around 10 years earlier during the action boom of the 1980s, I think we'd all know about him. He's probably most famous these days for the Street Fighter scene in City Hunter with Jackie Chan. Stallone also gave him a role in The Expendables, which is basically the Action Movie Hall of Fame, so there does seem to be some respect for him amongst his peers. Back in 1995 though, you only knew Gary if you'd seen him in previous direct-to-video outings. Gary is not a great actor. Well, at least not in Rage.
I've seen your idea of Fair Agent Parrish. Frankly, it sucks.
He's English, but after living in LA for a while, he developed a half London, half California twang that's distinctive, but a little camp.
Because they said I was like them. I was stronger. The others didn't last.
It doesn't really help his delivery of one-liners or back him up as a badass in the way the accents of the big boys do. This is maybe why his most famous roles have him virtually dialogue-free. For me though, Gary's inelegance only adds to the charm of Rage. I discovered Rage while watching Crank with a friend who said, "Oh, this is like that old Gary Daniels movie, Rage." He's got a point. An Englishman living in LA is injected with a substance that makes him tear around the city with near invincibility. Non-stop momentum and moments of almost art house presentation set it apart from its peers. If you like Crank, and you should like Crank, you'll probably like Rage. You know what else it's like? Commando. Neither film is concerned with being believable or giving you any time to dwell on what you've just seen. When I first saw Gary casually waddle from the car chase chase and into the dominatrix house, my brain immediately made a connection to Arnie nonchalantly jumping out of a plane and heading to the next scene without acknowledging the insanity he's just endured. Both movies pepper their downtime with bizarre moments and awkward dialogue, refusing to let their more mundane moments risk losing your attention.
You think I could smell them coming?
I did.
Plus, remember when John Matrix swings on the balloons at the mall? Alex Rayner does it too, but he finishes it off by slide kicking a dude in the nads. Stellar action combined with questionably eccentric dramatic scenes and Gary Daniels' awkward performance mean there is not one dull second in the entirety of Rage. If you do check out Rage and enjoy it, oh boy do I have a treat for you. Rage is the first part of an unofficial 3 R's trilogy. 3 films from PM Entertainment starring Gary Daniels. Rage is my favourite of the 3, but really, I could have covered any of these. And I got them for a penny each. If you want to delve deeper into the guy injected with experimental substance that gives him new abilities genre, watch my video about Dr. Alien. It's an 80s comedy, so no exploding cars in this one, but there is an English accent in it, more peculiar than Gary's.
No member of the opposite sex can resist it.